touched me, and all the joy that floods my soul. Something happened, and now I know Jesus touched me, and He made me whole. Now since I met this blessed Savior, and since He cleansed and made me whole, I will never cease to praise Him. I'll shout it while eternity rolls. He touched me, oh, Jesus touched me, and all the joy that floods my soul. Something happened, and now I know my Jesus touched me, and He made me whole. Amen.
I did not talk to you about what I was going to be preaching on, but he went right with my sermon. We're going to be looking at some stuff. If you will, take your Bibles and turn with me to the book of Mark, chapter 5. Mark, chapter 5. This is a scripture that actually we've touched on quite a bit here lately. I want to look at it. Y'all know me, I like to look at things from a different angle, different ways, and we're actually going to be looking at 3 different places this morning, or tonight. I feel in the morning. I'm still waking up. I'll be honest with you, we have been struggling. Talked to the preacher a little bit this morning. Woke up having a real hard time this morning. Taught Sunday school this morning. Struggled all the way through. Thoroughly enjoyed the material, the lesson that we had. Satan has fought every step of the way. We went home from church, and I thought, well, we'll go home and rest up a little bit, get ready for service tonight. Went home and we got out some chicken to put on the grill. Hard to mess up chicken on the grill. But I did. I took some chicken and I went out there and put aluminum foil over my grill. I was going to barbecue it up real nice. Put it on there and got it on the grill, shut the lid, and went over to get my barbecue sauce and my stuff and come back and raised it up, and the chicken was black as soot. Wasn't burnt. I have no idea what happened to it. What was in the grill or what was going on with it, but it just totally ruined our lunch. So I jumped in the car and I'm going to run on to KFC and just pick us up a bucket of chicken. We've got some corn. We've thrown on the grill. Corn ended up hard as a rock. I know that's right. I left out and I headed down to, we had singing today at 4 o'clock. We really wanted to go see CJ and Taylor. You know, first time we got to see him after the surgery. So we're rushing around and I take off and I get in the car and I got 1,000 things going through my mind. Satan fighting me and I'm trying to think of my message and which way I need to go. And this stuff going on. And I looked up and I'm almost at the church. I'm like, KFC's that way. I done took the wrong turn coming down the back road, so I got to come down, go back up Kings Mountain. I get to Kings Mountain, and Mama calls, and I got her on the phone, and I'm standing in line. The guy's trying to order, she's trying to talk to me, and I'm going, I can't talk to both at the same time. Y'all know me, I'm single track minded, so I'm all out of whack, waiting in line forever and a sit around for a few minutes, kind of relax a little bit, and then went to the singing. My concern immediately went to CJ. Those CJ, you know how active he is, how energetic he is. He barely moved, could hardly walk, had to sit down and sing most of the songs. Struggled, and had a lot of concern. They were like our youngest, and we were real close to them. So I dealt with that, got to check on him a little bit afterwards. They're going to try to get him to the hospital tonight and get him looked at. Some people just hard-headed. I don't know nothing about that. Don't you say that? But Satan has been fighting this since we started looking at it. I've been looking at some of this for a while. But I want us to look at this and see what the Lord has given us. Mark chapter 5, we'll begin reading at verse 21. If you don't mind, please stand in honor and reverence the reading of God's Word. If you will stand for anything, stand for God. Verse 21 says, "And when Jesus was passed over again by ship unto the other side, much people gathered unto him, and he was nigh unto the sea. And behold, there cometh one of the rulers of the synagogue, Jairus by name, and when he saw him, he fell at his feet, and saw him greatly, saying, My little daughter lieth at the point of death. I pray thee, come and lay thy hands on her, that she may be healed, and she shall live. Jesus went with him, and much people followed him and thronged him. And a certain woman which had an issue of blood 12 years, had suffered many things of many physicians, and had spent all that she had, and was nothing better, but rather grew worse. When she heard of Jesus, came and pressed behind, and touched his garment. For she said, If I may touch but his clothes, I shall be whole. And straightway the fountain of her blood was dried up. She felt in her body that she was healed of that plague. And Jesus, immediately knowing in himself that virtue had gone out of him, turned him about in the press and said, Who touched my clothes? His disciples said unto him, Thou seest the multitude thronging thee, and sayest thou, Who touched me? And he looked round about to see her that had done this thing. But the woman, fearing and trembling, knowing what was done in her, came and fell down before him, and told him all the truth. And he said unto her, Daughter, thy faith hath made thee whole. Go in peace, and be whole of thy plague. I want to speak for just a few minutes tonight on this subject. Getting more than you bargained for. Getting more than you bargained for. Let's be seated. Father, again, it's a privilege and an honor to be behind the sacred desk. Father, we pray that right now you'll move me out of the way. God, I don't want to be up here without you. God, I can't do this without you. I can't say anything. I can't even talk, Lord, without you. I pray that you'll give me the words to say, God, loose me, give me a word, and let me preach, Father. God, we pray that what you give us will take with us. That you'll use me and let me be a vessel tonight. In Jesus' precious name. Amen. Amen. The Bible says in Matthew 7:7, Ask and it shall be given you. Seek and you shall find. Knock and it shall be opened unto you. Getting more than you bargained for. I was thinking about this, and trying to come up with some notes and some things. And I remembered, I think I shared this with my Sunday school class before. I remember when 83, when my mom and dad moved us from here up to Tennessee, and I'd already heard all the rumors about how them mountain folk were. And when I got up there, I found out most of them was true. But they are rough, tough, tumble bunch up there. They like to scrap. They like to argue. They like to fight. That's just the way they are up there. They ain't got nothing else to do but other people. And so that's the way they were. So I had this mentality as a 15-year-old kid who was protected. Y'all know my mom. Who was sheltered and protected and good little church-going boy. And so I'm going to go to Tennessee, and I get up there, and I remember thinking, I'm going to have to make a statement. And I'm going to find find me somebody, and I'm going to whoop somebody just so that they know that I ain't going to be some kind of little pushover up here. You got to realize when I went up there, I weighed less than 140 pounds. When I graduated high school, I only weighed 142. I know y'all can't believe that. I'm not far over that now. But I was a puny little thing, and I thought, I'm going to find me somebody, and I'm going to whoop somebody just so I'll make me a statement so they know that I ain't nobody to joke with. And there's a little fella that was in one of our classes. I ain't going to say his name because he's not watching this live on Facebook. I'll get real I want to come back to me. But I remember he was a smart aleck. Oh, I couldn't stand that joker. Just cocky. And he wasn't this tall. He was a little bitty fella. And I thought, bingo, right there he is. I said, I'll take that little joker out and let him know real quick that these folk know just exactly what I'm made of. And so I baited him, and I kept talking some junk to him. I was good at talking junk. And I got him wound up. We was going to meet out in the parking lot after school. You know how it is at school. Everybody in school hears about it. There's a big circle of folk out there, and there he stood. And I went out there to prove who I was. That boy beat me all over that parking lot. It's like I was a rag doll. I mean, like I wasn't even there. I didn't even have a chance. And I thought, I have bit off more than I bargained for. I got a lot more than I bargained for. I thought, just by cause of the way I was looking and what my eyes could see as I was assessing the situation through my eyes, I hadn't assessed the situation that this boy was an all-American wrestler who was a Golden Gloves boxer, and this boy just flat laid me out. And so I made a mistake by looking with my physical eyes at what I see. Getting more than you bargained for, I want to talk about seeking this morning, or tonight. I'm going to say this morning again. If I say this morning, no. Everybody in this room is seeking something. I don't care who you are, you're seeking something. And one of the questions I ask is, why are you here? Why are you at church? Why take a Sunday evening when we could be on the lake, we could be fishing, we could be hanging out at the house, drinking tea, watching TV. A lot of things we could be doing that'd be fun. Why are you here? Is there a particular thing that you're looking for? I was looking at this story, which is a true story. It's not something fiction. Verse 20 said, and he departed. Jesus just cast out the demons. Y'all remember the story? Into the swine. He's healed the man. And he departed and began to publish in Decapolis how great things Jesus had done for him. And when Jesus was passed over again by ship into the other side, much people gathered unto him. If you look over in another place, over in verse 24, it says it again, and Jesus went with him, and much people followed him and thronged him. To throng him means to press up against. They were trying to get close. They were trying to get up close to where Jesus was. And if you read in the Bible, many places, the Bible specifies the number of people. It talks about 5,000 being fed at one time, which we understand that was probably more like 15,000 because it was just 5,000 men, not including the women and children. So you figure most of them had wives, and most of them had 1 or 2 kids. So you figure a pretty good crowd. They couldn't even number this crowd. This was a big group of people that had come to see Jesus. Remember, you're talking about a man who could walk into a city, no flyers on the wall, no Facebook posts, no Twitter accounts, no radio, no TV. no advertisement whatsoever, and could gather 15,000 people on the side of a desert and speak to them. And so everybody's heard about this man, and I wonder how many people come to church just because of the man that they've heard of. That maybe they're just here because of curiosity, maybe. Who is this Jesus guy that we hear so much about? And I don't know, maybe there's a couple here like that. I don't know, maybe not. Maybe there's some here because not just of the fame of Jesus, maybe some's here just because of the name of Jesus. You say, well, he has a wonderful name. Oh, yeah. His name is above all names. We sang that this morning. Worthy is the name of Jesus. His name is awesome. His name is great. His name, I think I put that down. His name is a name within a name. The J tells us that he's just, that he's joy, that he's Jehovah. The E tells us he's Emmanuel. He's eternal and he's everything. The S says he's a shepherd. He's a shelter. He's my soul. The U tells me he's the undisputed, undefeated, undefiled champion of love. The other S tells me he's Savior, Sustainer, and soon coming King. He has an awesome name tonight. But listen to me, it is more than just knowing his name. I shared with y'all before that I know Michael Jordan. We've talked about that before. Y'all know who Michael Jordan is. Everybody surely knows who Michael Jordan is. I know Michael Jordan, great basketball player from Wilmington, North Carolina. Got cut in his high school because he wasn't good enough to play basketball. Went to UNC, North Carolina, won a national championship. Something this game-winning shot to win the national championship. Some of y'all might remember that. I tell you all about Michael Jordan. I know all about his wife, his kids, where he's from, what he's doing now. He owns the Charlotte Hornets. He's got a lot of different businesses. I can tell you all about Michael Jordan. I know Michael Jordan, y'all. But you go ask Michael Jordan if he knows more than that. See, it's more than just knowing who somebody is. There's more to it than just knowing his name. And I want to look at three people real quick. I'll try not to keep you long. Who came seeking Jesus for one thing, got more than they bargained for. This lady, we've heard this story many, many times. Jesus is coming through, and a ruler of the Jews, as the ruler of the synagogue, stopped him, Jairus by name. His daughter is dying. He says, please come and heal my daughter. And he comes, and in the middle of all this mess, there's this throng of people. Now, February 7th, 2017, Austin, Massachusetts. The New England Patriots championship football team had a parade down the main street. They estimate that over 1 million people were lying on the sides of the street celebrating the New England Patriots winning the Super Bowl. This was not that kind of crowd. This was not a celebrating crowd. This was not a crowd who was open hands. This was a crowd looking for something. This was a crowd that was needing something. But my question for you tonight, dealing with this woman, is of all these people that were there, a number that could not be counted. And the Bible says that they were all pushing to get close to him. How come only one of them touched him? How come the Bible only refers to one person touching Jesus? Could it be the same reason we have churches all across our country, people sitting in our pews, and they come in here on Sunday morning for Sunday school, they come in for Sunday worship, they come in on Sunday night, they come in on Wednesday night, and they never touch Jesus? So why was she there? Why was this woman with the issue of blood seeking out Jesus? I believe she was seeking restoration. Somebody made the comment, why 12 years? Why did she have an issue of blood for 12 years? What was so significant about the 12 years? And I keep saying, because 11 years wasn't enough. You see, some of us have got some problems in our lives. I'm not talking about sin. I'm talking about some problems in our lives. Health issues, financial issues, family issues. We've got things going on in our lives, and we are so bound and determined that we're going to work it out. Why did this woman have to go through 12 years? Because God needed her at the end of her rope to come to Him. 11 years, she was still going to doctors. She was still taking medicine. She was still trying this and talking to this person, trying this health issue, and trying this natural. Listen, how long will you go through what you're going through before you give up and say, God, you do it? Amen. And this woman came to Jesus with a need for restoration. She needed healing is what she needed. In her mind, that's what she needed. This was the thing that she really wanted, was to be healed. That's why she sought out Jesus. Amen. Oh, but listen, Dr. Jesus is in the house. Yeah. She got more than she bargained. She came to Jesus at the end of her rope. She had done all that she could do. She had struggled with everything she could struggle. She done tried all the stuff she could try. She done went through all the processes. She done went to this faith healer. She done went to this doctor. She done tried this medication. She done went through this 12-step program, turned around 7 times and shouted hallelujah. And she still was sick. And it took her going through everything she did until she came to Jesus. What is it going to take to get us to come to Jesus? How long will we have to suffer through this sickness, through this financial problem, through this family problem, through all these issues in our life before we say, God, I give it to you? But you see what happened to the woman? Not only did she get healed. This verse. This verse. I like this. I'm looking for it. And he said unto her, verse 34, daughter. Y'all see that? There is nobody else in the Bible that he addresses as daughter. You won't find it in here anywhere. You know what? She's in the family now. She didn't just get healed physically. She got healed spiritually. She got a lot more than she bargained for. And if you come in church, and you might be in here today, and all you're thinking about is the problems in your life and how much you need God to help you, and God said, oh, but I've got something else for you. I've got something more to give you. You'll just let me have that problem. Turn over just a few chapters. Chapter 10. Mark chapter 10. Y'all heard this one too. Seeking restoration. Now, Mark chapter 10, verse 17. And when he was gone forth into the way, speaking of Jesus, there came one running and kneeled down to him and asked him, Good master, what shall I do that I may inherit eternal life? And Jesus said unto him, Why callest thou me good? There is none good but one, that is God. Thou knowest the commandments. Do not commit adultery, do not kill, do not steal, do not bear false witness, defraud not, honor your father and mother. And he answered and said unto him, Master, all these have I observed from my youth. Then Jesus, beholding him, loved him, said unto him, One thing. Y'all get that? One thing. One. That's all. One thing. One thing thou lackest. Go thy way, sell whatsoever thou hast, and give to the poor. Thou shalt have treasure in heaven, and come, take up the cross, and follow me. was sad at that saying, and went away grieved, for he had great possessions. We sing a song called When I Lay My Isaac Down. We've talked about having something in your life that keeps you from serving God. But listen, folks, people come to church, and they know they've got that sin in their life. They know it's an issue in their life. They know that Satan's got the best of them with that one thing that they just cannot get rid of. But they believe, as long as I'm coming to Sunday school, as long as I'm coming to church services, as long as I sing in choir, and I raise my hand, and I study my Bible, and I pray, God will overlook that one thing. That's not what my Bible says. This man came to Jesus and he said, what must I do to inherit eternal life? He was looking for justification. He knew what the problem was. You think Jesus wasn't already on track with what he was saying? He knew exactly where he was going. And so Jesus brought it up and he said, you know the commandments. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Thou shalt not steal. Oh boy, I've seen Providence chest down. Man, I've done that since I was a kid. I go to church every Sunday. I don't miss. I got pins down here for Sunday school. I don't miss Sunday school. I do visitation. I sing in choir. I teach Sunday school. I take up the offering. Man, I do all this stuff. I'm good. He said, wait a minute, man. You got one thing. It's keeping you from being right. One thing. He says, take that one thing. Give it away. And then, take up your cross. Follow me. He said, you got to get rid of that. He said, you got to lay it down. You got to get rid of it. And listen, I believe this, and I know there's people that believe otherwise, different beliefs. Now, this is just me. This is what I believe. I believe that every single man on this planet, every single woman on this planet, at one time or another, will get an opportunity to be saved. I believe that. Yeah. I believe that every single person will at least get one opportunity to be saved, but I do not believe that every single person will get two. There is a scripture in Hebrews that talks about Esau, and he came with tears in his eyes, repenting, but it was too late. What are you holding on to that's keeping you from Christ? What is the thing in your life that is keeping you from serving God? The Bible says that there is a sin unto death. Now listen, I don't know what that is, and you don't either. You don't know what it is, and I don't. But I do believe it's whatever sins in your life that you hold on to, that you will not let go of. I believe that if you take it so far, God will take you out of this world. The Bible says that I will turn you over to the destruction of the body so that your soul can be saved. That's what the Bible says. What is that one thing that you try to justify just because we come to church, just because we study our Bible, just because we pray, just because we do this, just because we raise our kids right, just because... One more person I want to look at. This is probably one of the most read scriptures in the church. John chapter 3. I told y'all I grew up in I guess in my Sunday school class. In junior high school, I went to a private Christian school for 3 years. And one of the things that they were so big on was memorization. They wanted us to remember, man, we couldn't memorize verses. We had to memorize chapters. Boy, you had to stand up in front of the whole class and say the whole thing. If you missed it, you sit down until you learn it and come back and do it again. And man, listen, it was embarrassing to get up there and mess up one line and start all over again. And so you studied those scriptures, you memorized those scriptures, you memorized them. And this was one of those ones that I remember that we always had to memorize from John 1, or from John 3, 1 to verse 17. And I remember I was sitting at the desk studying, and I thought, I'm going to try this. Man, I was lost as a ball of highway, y'all. I couldn't remember a lot of that stuff. And I thought, man, why am I not keeping up with this stuff and memorizing this stuff and learning this stuff? And I was reading this passage.
And I ran across something that I'd never seen. I love that about the Bible. You can read the same, but man, listen, many times I've read this scripture, I've seen something I'd never seen before. Because it was something that wasn't there. Let me show you what I'm talking about. What's up there? I see. There was a man of the Pharisees named Nicodemus, the ruler of the Jews. This was a church man, y'all. He's one of the church folk. One of the head church folk. One of the deacons.
Yes.
One of the deacons. One of the Sunday school teachers. One of the trustees.
Mm-hmm.
Amen. That's who he was. The same came to Jesus by night. Now let me say this. We got a bunch of undercover Christians.
Uh-huh.
And this ain't got nothing to do with the sermon, but this just kept hitting me when I was reading this. How many folk know that we go to church without them coming to church to see us? How many people out there know that you go to church? I mean, they come in here and see us. But how many folk know we're Christians when we're not in the church house?
That's right.
The same came to Jesus by night, undercover. Didn't want nobody to know. Same reason why a lot of us won't come to the altar. And said unto him, Rabbi, we know that thou art a teacher come from God. Come with a little bit of praise on his lips. See that? For no man can do these miracles that thou doest except God be with him. That's what Nicodemus said. He said, hey! He probably doing it like this because he didn't want to hear him talking to him. Anyway, come at night and he whispered, hey, listen, man, we know you. We know you from God. We see what you do. And then I read the next verse and I thought, is there some verses missing somewhere? Because the next verse had nothing to do with the last verse. In the next verse, Jesus answered and said unto him, Verily, verily, I say unto thee, except the man be born again, he cannot see the kingdom of God. I said, that is not what he asked him. And I go back and I look. The same came to Jesus by night and said, Rabbi, we know that thou art a teacher from God. No man can do these miracles I do. And then Jesus said, no, except man be. I said, what? This don't even make sense. Why in the world would Jesus talk about this and he's talking about this? Because Nicodemus comes seeking something he didn't even know he was looking for.
That's right.
He come and got more than what he bargained for. He comes seeking salvation. I don't know why you're here. I don't know why you come in those doors back there, and there could be a multitude of reasons. Maybe you're here because this is just where you're always at. So there's a lot of folk that do that. They go to church just because that's where they're always at on Sunday. It's our habit to go to church on Sunday. Some people go because they feel like it's their duty to go to church on Sunday. It's my duty to be at the church. Some of you may be here tonight just because the preacher said he was leaving and you feel like you need to support the church. Support me, support him. Whatever the reason is. Why did you come in here tonight?
Love.
What are you seeking in here tonight?
Love.
Maybe you're here because your spouse brought you. If your spouse didn't bring you, I wonder how many of you would still be sitting here. If your kids, we got some teenagers sitting in here. If you could drive and mom and daddy wasn't bringing you, how many of you would be sitting here? Why did you come in here tonight?
Love.
You come in here for a multitude of reasons. Not just love. Not just love. There's a lot of people who came in here for a lot of different reasons. But Jesus said, I can give you more than you came in here looking for. Maybe you came in here because my friend's here. These people I look up to and I hang out with. I like these people. And I'm going to go hang out with them, fellowship with them. I enjoy the friendship that we have. Friends will turn their back on me.
Wow.
Well, my family goes here. This is where my family goes. Your family will turn their back on you.
Wow.
And listen to me. A pastor and a church will turn their back on you.
Wow.
You better get that through your mind. As important as this church is, as important as this pastor is, it holds not even a light to the importance of Jesus.
Amen.
That's why we come to church.
Wow.
And if you come looking for some kind of restoration, for some kind of problem that you got in your life, and that's why you're here and you're hoping that God's going to take care of that problem, He says, oh, but I can give you so much more than just fixing your problem.
Amen.
I come in here tonight because I wanted justification.
Yeah.
Lord, I know I'm doing this and that's not right, but God, I'm doing this. We used to get tickled, me and Tammy, and I'm going to put her on the spot a little bit. Listen, and Anna's sitting here with Tyler, so I'm going to embarrass him a little bit. He is a destructive individual. Y'all get this?